Hey friends, good to have you back. Thanks for joining. Today we are going to be clearing some land. The forecasters say we've got a squall coming through, and so step one is to get a fire going before that heavy snow comes in, and then I'll show you what we're going to be working on. All right, we've got the fire going pretty good, at least the base. I've got some dry wood, but I forgot my helmet and chaps in the trunk of the car, so I've got to run back down to grab those. So this area down here is what I refer to as our winter base camp. It's not too far from the road. We're about, I would say, 700 feet from where our house is. So our driveway is going to come up through here. And you can kind of see behind me here, we have a little shelter that we sort of cobbled together in a day. A couple of pallets, and then took a bunch of logs, and then some old air mattresses that had leaks in them that we used to cover. And so got a storage container there with paper, a little bit of cardboard for starting fires, and some dry wood. And when I'm clearing, what I like to do first is to get kind of a brush fire started, so that for the small stuff that's not going to be used for firewood, I can burn it up. Ideally, I'd love to be able to chip it, and I have a couple of small chippers, but they honestly don't work for the volume. It just takes too long to really get anything out of that. So sometimes it's just quicker and I think more efficient to just burn that small stuff up that we have. So let me show you the space behind us. I'll talk about a couple ideas that I have for that. So here we are, that fire is getting going, and if you're going to do this, what you need some dry wood really to get a good fire going here. And as you kind of look around here, you see there's a lot of dead wood, there's a lot of down stuff. What I'd like to do is be able to cut this up for firewood down here. We're actually in a really good location. There's a state park close by, and that they're converting that park to an overnight campground site. And so I think we got a real good spot for a roadside firewood stand that we can go. And so to start to get stuff seasoned up for that is going to be helpful. The other thing I'd like to do with this area down here, now again, this is a good distance from our house, not going to be super visible up there, but I'm thinking this will be a real ideal location to put a campsite in here. And we might be able to kind of repurpose our 16 by 20 canvas wall tent down into this area here, and we can use that, we can rent that out in the summer times, where if we look down here, where you got views of the water right through down there. so not far off. So I think this would be a really nice campsite for people. It would be far enough away from our house where there'd be some privacy for us. But so there's going to be some work required in the cleanup side of it. A lot of this stuff has blown down in different storms, and we also had some of this logged a couple years ago, so there's a little bit of the branch work here. Now, this area over here, which I've done a little bit of cutting, you'll see some of these things that are down here, is where we're going to bring our drive through. So we've got some of this brush here. Some of this is like a little bit of apple trees. There's a lot of overgrown apple trees here. But we're coming up right where that telephone pole is here, is where our drive's going to come up. It's a little bit lower on the left-hand side. So we're going to, that's why we're, instead of where we've been driving up through is that pathway, but that's just a little bit lower than the land is over here. So we want to take advantage of that elevation, and all the water runs down. There's a culvert not far over there. Now, my excavator friend, who's not doing the work for us, but who used to have a business, said it's a lot easier to push these trees over with an excavator when they're full size. So that part of the work I'm gonna save that for when the excavator comes through, rather than taking that down. What I'm gonna work on is just kind of cleaning up some of this other stuff over here on this side that would be like hanging over the drive, and then clean some of this things up. Now the wind's starting to pick up, so I'm anticipating that we're gonna get a squall through here shortly. So we'll see what I can get accomplished today, and if I get snowed out or not. what not to do when cutting down. When you're bringing that down and it's the tree is coming down, it's putting that compression on the lower part. And so when I first started that, I should have on the lower part kind of notched out it and then come from the top so it could break, and then I got my exit point. But I forgot to do that on the first one, and so that tension caught it in there. And this is a pretty small tree, but that's why I wear the safety gear, and I'm learning, and these are the things why you got to be careful with chainsaws. Well, that's about all we've got time for today. I'm almost done with the cleanup here. I'm gonna tend the fire for a little bit, and we got some family coming in this afternoon, so I need to get packed up and headed home. But I want to thank you for watching, and see you next time.